Okay. So, everyone, what we have discussed in the last session is we discussed completely about the fields. 1 minute. Okay. So, as I mentioned, in the last session, we discussed about the objects and fields. Correct. So, let's discuss something more about it. Correct. So that we will have the clear understanding. So, let me revise yesterday what we have discussed, and then we will continue on the rest of the part. Correct. So we discuss about the setup, we discuss about the object and this complete table, how the objects are represented, how the records will be represented, how the fields will be represented. So just to give you the recap, data is always stored in a tabular format. Correct. So the table that the is actually contains the everything is called as an object in Salesforce. Correct. The table columns that we call as a fields, and the actual data inside that table is called as in rows. Correct. So as I mentioned, on a Salesforce platform, everything is represented as a object, fields, and records. Correct. Then we discuss about the standard object and custom objects, and then I give you the couple of assignments. Correct. So if you are not done with the assignments, please focus today at least. Correct. Now let's discuss more about the objects. Correct. And let's discuss actually how we create the objects, how we create the different types of fields and everything. Correct. So let me open the Salesforce now. Yeah, here do we have the Salesforce. Okay, so I already logged into my Salesforce environment. Okay. Now, when you are on this home page, you all normally go to the setup whenever you are playing around the objects and fields. Correct. So I already told you how we can create the objects. Correct. How we can put the tabs for it. Now let's open any one of the object that is already present. So I guess yesterday we discussed about the bike object. Correct. Now let's open that object. So now once you visited the object manager, here we can search for the object name, that is bike. Correct. Open the object. And now once you open the object, you see the object detail. So remember yesterday I mentioned one more thing, that every object, whether it's an object, whether it's a field, every object or field will have the two names. One is the label and second is the API name. Correct. So the object label is what? It's a bike. But what's its API name? It's a bike underscore underscore C. Why it is underscore underscore C? It means it's a custom. C for custom. So whether it's a field or whether it's a object, if it is updated as a underscore underscore C, that means it's a custom. It's not a Salesforce standard. Okay. Now, if I go to the fields and relationship section, you see this, there is a no custom field present because every name or whether it's a label or API name, it's only the, it doesn't have the underscore C, underscore underscore C, because these are the standard fields. Correct. So yesterday we created this bike as a new object. Correct. Remember, and we added the couple of records in it. So let me open those records. If I go to the bike tab, you can see these are the two records are present over here. Correct. So every object, whenever you create a new fresh object, there will be four fields. Those are created automatically. First, the name. Second, the created by. Third, that is last modified by, and last one, that is the owner. Who is the owner of that record? That means who created that record, who is currently owning that record. Correct. So remember this thing, because sometimes this might be people ask in interview, whenever you create a fresh object, how many fields will be created automatically? So there will be the four. That's the bike name, sorry, a name of the object, record, and created by, last modified by, and owner. Correct. Now, as we go ahead, moving ahead, sometimes these four fields doesn't contain all the data, required data. Correct. So sometimes we wanted to stir creates a fields. Correct. Now, suppose I wanted to store the maximum speed of bike. Okay. How much maximum speed we can reach out? Okay. What is the I would say the engine, the horsepower or CC engine that we have in a bike. So suppose I want, or the color of a bike, or more preferably. So suppose we wanted to store such a type of details, then additional details can be stored by creating some additional fields. Okay. Now let's create some fields and try to understand what are the different types of fields that are present on the Salesforce. Okay. So now how to create the field? So whenever you come to the object manager and you open any object and come to the fields and relationship section, there is a new button over here, correct? A new custom field, correct? Click on that. Now here you see a different type of fields. You see this? There are the different types of fields are present. Now there are almost near about 20 types of fields we can create. Okay. Now let's come to from the bottom, because auto number formula, lookup relationship, master retail relationship. These are the different types of fields. Okay. I cannot tell you right now reason behind to understand that. Maybe in the next class I'll tell you. Okay. Not at this class, for example, because for that we need a little bit more understanding. Okay. So now let's understand the simple type of fields we can create. Okay. Now suppose someone, I wanted to create a field which will show as a checkbox is checked or not checked. Okay. Then this type of field is called a checkbox type of field. Allow user, what is the help text that Salesforce provide? Allow user to select a true, that is checked, or false, that is unchecked value. So suppose somewhere you wanted to display a checkbox kind of thing. Okay, whether it's a check or unchecked, that means a true or false, then we create a checkbox type of field. Correct. So let's create a checkbox type of field and then try to understand how to create the thing. Now, the first step is that you have to come to the object and click on a new field, and then select the type of field, click on next. Now, what should be the name of field? So now, as we are on a bike, so suppose we can create a checkbox type of field. Is this bike, I would say, passing done or not done? Correct. That means sometimes the passing. That means passing means what? I guess everyone knows. Passing means the we get the number for our bike.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay. Good.
Sir, could you please repeat the last part? I mean, when we have gone to fields and relationship, then
Let me
what we
repeat
have.
that. Let me repeat. Sure. Let me repeat from scratch. Okay. How to create the field is that go to setup. Correct. So on which object you wanted to create a field? For example, on a bike. Correct. So first go to the object manager, and object, on object there is a field. So what is the main container? Object. Inside the object we have the fields. Correct. For that object. So first open the object, that is bike. And then once you landed on this page, here you will get the fields and relationship. Correct. Once you visited this field section, then here you have the new button, which will help you to create the new fields. Correct. But first you have to come to the fields and relationship section. Correct. Then click on new button. Okay. Here, what it is saying, new custom field, a new custom field. Choose the type of field that you want to create. Correct. Specify the type of information that the custom field will be containing. Correct. Will contain. That means here there is a step one where we need to just select the type of field. So which type of fields we want to create? For example, we wanted to create a checkbox type of field. So I'll just select the checkbox. Correct. Then I'll go to the next. And here we have to give the field name. So what should be our field name? Passing done. Passing means what? A number that we get to our particular bike, that or number plate, received number plate. Passing done, I would say more specifically. Passing for bike is done. So what should be the default value for this? It should be unchecked, because whenever we get a fresh new bike, we do not have the number, correct? And what is the meaning of this field? Passing for bike is done. That means if the passing is done for this bike, we will keep this as a checked. That means we will mark this checkbox. If the passing is not done, we'll mark this checkbox as a unchecked. So on basis of that, we will able to understand whether the passing for this bike is done or not. Okay, so this is the second step, new custom field and enter the details of the fields. What is mean by details? Detail means just give the name to your field. Correct. So now then click on next, and rest of the thing we just have to click on next and then save. So make sure you select all the check boxes. So click on visible button. Okay, this is new, but you just follow this step blindly. The next third number step and third number 4, you have to follow as it is. Do not change anything. Reason behind, still we don't know what is meant by profile, what is meant by security and all those stuff. Correct. But to learn the profile and security, we at least need to attend 10 more classes. Okay. So in the third and fourth stage, do not change anything. Just click on next and save. Here also do not change anything. Just click on save button. Okay. Once you're done with this, now you see this, we again come to the fields and relationships section automatically. And now you see this, this is a newly created field. Passing for bike is done. Correct. So what does that mean? And now you see the API name, that is the field name. What it is? It is passing underscore for underscore underscore, in between words it's underscore and it ends with underscore C. That means in a custom or in a I would say in an API name, there is a no space. The space will be always be replaced by the underscore sign, and it always ends with underscore C. Now what is meant by underscore C? As I mentioned, it will be a custom. Correct. Now you see the difference. So owner, correct. You see the last modified by, there is a space, but if because of it's a standard, there is a no space involved, there is a no underscore sign, they have just removed that. But as compared to custom field, whenever you mention a field, it will be space will be replaced by the underscore sign, and the API name always end with the underscore C. Correct. Now once you're done with this, you have successfully created one field. Correct. Now let's create a new record for this bike and then understand whether it's working or not. Correct. Now how to create the new record? Go to the bikes tab. Correct. And here you have the button to create a new record. Correct. Now what's the bike name? So I would say Activa, for example. Now you see this checkbox, passing for this bike is done or not. Correct. You can check this checkbox or uncheck this checkbox. So suppose you receive the number, you will check this and mark this as a C. And now you can see this. So as per your need, you can edit this as well. You just see this edit icon, click on that, uncheck this, see. If you want, you can uncheck. If you want, you can check as well. Correct. So this is how we create the hundreds of fields over here to gather the complete information. You can create almost 500 fields on one single object. How many? 500 fields you can create on one single object. That means I can create a passing. This passing for bike is done. This is our first field. The name is second, owner, third, fourth, fifth. In the same way, I can create 500 more fields.
One question, sir. Can we put something specifically for particular fields or records?
I didn't get your question. Can you repeat?
अरे जैसे कि अभी हमने एक्टिवा के लिए पासिंग फॉर बाइक इज डन चेक किया, और इससे पहले रॉयल इनफील्ड पे भी पासिंग फॉर बाइक इज डन हो रहा था, सेम हुआ दोनों के लिए।
कर सकते हैं बिकॉज सी पहले रिकॉर्ड्स है ना, ये कल के रिकॉर्ड्स है, लेकिन कल के रिकॉर्ड्स पे भी वो फील्ड आपको अभी अवेलेबल हो जाएगा। आप ऊपर करोगे तो आपको यहाँ पे भी मिलता है। करेक्ट। बिकॉज सी व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, इट्स अ राइट क्वेश्चन, इट्स अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन दोस्त, है ना। तो अभी हमने क्या किया है, आप अगर ये डायग्राम को अंडरस्टैंड करते हो क्लियरली, इज दैट डायग्राम, ओके हियर इट इज, ओके। तो आप इमेजिन कर लो फर्स्ट नेम लास्ट नेम ईमेल था, प्राइमरी था, तो हमने बाद में क्या किया, हमने passing for this bike done as a new column ऐड कर दिया। तो कॉलम ऐड करोगे तो सारे रिकॉर्ड्स जो है, रॉयल इनफील्ड है, फॉर एग्जांपल एक्टिवा है,
हाँ,
सबके लिए वो कॉलम ऐड हो जाता है।
राइट।
तो वो आप तो आपको ये समझना है कि आप कॉलम बना रहे हो, आप फील्ड बना रहे हो, मतलब आप ऑब्जेक्ट लेवल पे चेंज कर रहे हो। तो आप ऑब्जेक्ट चेंज करोगे तो आप डेटा में भी आपको पुराना डेटा रहेगा तो उसमें भी वो फील्ड्स मिल जाते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं।
ओके, अगर मैं चाहूँ कि स्पेसिफिकली मुझे, जैसे कि मैंने अभी मुझे कोई ये जो आपने जैसे चेक बॉक्स किया, मुझे एक्टिवा के लिए, एक्टिवा जो मेरी रिकॉर्ड है, इसलिए स्पेसिफिकली अलग से एक चेक बॉक्स चाहिए जो रॉयल इनफील्ड और पल्सर में अपडेट ना हो।
ओके, सी मतलब यहाँ पे दिखना नहीं चाहिए।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, आई एम नॉट दिसिंग सर। मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि इसकी एक जैसे कि पासिंग फॉर बाइक इज डन है ये, और दूसरा चाहता हूँ मैं दूसरा चेक बॉक्स बन जाए कि रिव्यूज,
एक
रिव्यू है डन, रिव्यू
हाँ,
हैज डन।
ओके।
और ये रिव्यू हैज डन जस्ट फॉर दिस एक्टिवा, नॉट फॉर रॉयल, मीन नॉट फॉर रॉयल इनफील्ड और पल्सर।
ओके, दैट इज समथिंग दोस्त नॉट पॉसिबल। क्या हो रहा है, आप ये डायग्राम को समझो। आप अगर आप जहाँ पे भी आप नया फील्ड बना रहे हो, मतलब आप क्या कर रहे हो, यहाँ पे वर्टिकली एक फील्ड ऐड कर रहे हो, यहाँ पे, है ना? तो क्या होगा, यहाँ पे अगर आप ऐड करोगे ना, तो जैसे ही सपोज ये एक्टिवा है हमारा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये एक्टिवा वाला है और ये एमा जो है वो पल्सर वाला है। तो इससे क्या होगा ना, ये सारे ये वर्टिकली ऐड हो, तो वर्टिकली ऐड होगा मतलब ये टॉप से लेके बॉटम तक सबके लिए जाएगा ही जाएगा।
ओके।
तो फील्ड्स जो होते हैं ना, वो या फिर ऑब्जेक्ट जो होता है ना, देखो रिकॉर्ड्स कैसे बन रहे हैं, रिकॉर्ड जो है ना ये ऑब्जेक्ट के अंदर है ना? बट फील्ड क्या है, फील्ड ये एक अपना टेबल का ही पार्ट है, वो ऑब्जेक्ट का पार्ट है वो,
हाँ।
है ना? तो आप जब भी फील्ड्स ऐड करोगे वो सारे रिकॉर्ड्स पे अप्लाई हो जाएगा,
ओके। राइट।
है ना? तो इसको बोलते हैं हम मेटा डेटा और डेटा।
राइट।
जस्ट टू गिव यू हिंट, अगर आपको समझ में आ जाए तो ठीक है, नहीं है तो छोड़ दीजिए ना। तो
राइट।
इसको हम बोलते हैं मेटा डेटा और डेटा। डेटा मतलब क्या है, एक्चुअल आपके जो डिटेल्स है, वो आपकी जो पल्सर है, रॉयल इनफील्ड जो बाइक के नाम है, उसका सीसी है, या फिर वो जो वैल्यूज है चेक बॉक्स के अंदर, वो डेटा होता है। और मेटा डेटा क्या होता है, जो आपका ऑब्जेक्ट है, जो आपका फील्ड्स के नाम है, वो मेटा डेटा रहता है। मेटा डेटा मतलब क्या, जो टेक्निकल डिटेल्स है उनको हम मेटा डेटा बोलते हैं, और जो एक्चुअल रिकॉर्ड की वैल्यूज है उनको हम जस्ट डेटा बोलते हैं। तो आपने आज अभी तक आपकी पूरी लाइफ में आपने बस डेटा सुना होगा। आपकी इमेज ऐसा डेटा होता है, आपकी वीडियोस ऐसा डेटा होता है, आप ऑडियो साउंड्स जो भी सुनते हो वही वो भी डेटा होता है, सब कुछ डेटा होता है। बट वो जो डेटा सब स्टोर होता है ना, जो पीछे डेटाबेस है, उसको टेक्निकली मेटा डेटा बोलते हैं। जस्ट मेटा एज अ वर्ड ऐड होता है। आपको आपने रिसेंटली सुना होगा फेसबुक ने भी उनका पेरेंट कंपनी या फिर उनका नाम मेटा किया
राइट।
है ना? तो वही रीजंस होता है, मेटा मतलब कोर, है ना? एनीवेज, तो जब भी आप कोई नया फील्ड बनाओगे, फॉर एग्जांपल ओवर हियर, वो सारे रिकॉर्ड्स पे ऐड हो जाते हैं। ओके, सो नाउ वी जस्ट व्हाट, ये क्यों आ गए? Okay. So now what we did, we just created a checkbox type of fields. Okay. Now how to create the fields? Let's repeat and let's create one more field on this bike object. Correct. So fields will be created at a object level. Correct. So now let's go to setup. I'm repeating this every time. Go to setup, go to object manager, because आपको ये steps याद हो जाए ना, you will be able to remember that. So you don't need to do this every time. Correct. If you are in a setup, you are in an object manager, you can do that from there only. But I am repeating because everyone will be able to see the multiple times what's happening. Okay. Go to your object by searching your object name, fields and relationships. Now let's create a different type of fields now. Correct. We did a checkbox type of field. Now go to the fields and relationships section. You get a new button over here, custom field. Click on that. Correct. Now what the next type of field we have is the checkbox one. Then what will the next type of field is the currency. Allow user, what is the help text that is Salesforce providing? Allow user to enter a dollar or other currency amount in the field. The rest of the things we can skip. Correct. That means this thing, that currency or your currency related details. Now, as we are in a bike, correct? Now, what should be the currency involvement in a bike? The price of the bike, correct? That means price can be a currency, correct? So let's select a currency type of field and then give a name to our field as a price, correct? So give the price, correct? Now you see this, what it is saying, a length and a decimal places. Now what is meant by length? Length means what will be the price of your bikes. You can give up to 18 integers. Okay, that means your price can be maximum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 18 digits. Correct? So this much of maximum value you can provide in your. Don't know what this value is, but if you write down 999 18 times, it can be a sum thousands of billions of dollars, correct? So that's okay, but this is what it is saying. So, and suppose you wanted to add 999 dot something 123. So what will be this dot is? This dot is decimal points, correct? So this is basic maths, but the limit is that you can give maximum 18 characters, correct? So I'll make this as a 16 and this as a 2. So that I can give, so this is 16 times 999. I'll remove 2 of them and 3, and this will be the 2 more characters. Correct? So I can give 999.99999 up to maximum price. We can give this much. Correct? So to provide the decimal values, we can give the decimal points here as well. Okay. So go on the next. So as I mentioned, do not change in a step 3 and step 4. Keep this as it is. Click on next and see. Reason, there is a reason. I'll explain you someday. Okay, not today. Okay. So what we did, we just created one more field, that is price. Correct? You see the difference? Label is the price and API name is price underscore. Correct? Now let's create one more field now. Let's try at least a couple of more. Go to the fields and relationship section. Now what we have is the date and date time. There are the 2 different fields. You can only store the date and you can store the date and time both. So let's create a date type of field and see that. So you are noticing that what we are doing, we are just following the 2 steps. We are selecting the type of field and we are giving the name to that field. That's it. We are not doing anything. It's as simple as whenever you wanted to create a new field, you just need to select your date field as per your a type of field as per your requirement. Suppose I want to create a integer type or a number related field. Correct? That means my bike number. I'll select the number. I want to store my customer email address. I'll select the email address. I want to store the customer address. I'll select the geolocation. I want to store his phone number. I'll select the phone type of field. That means you can store all type of your customer details over here. And for that, as per your requirement.
Sir, is it possible that we can create a totally a customized field? Like I created an object named tower. So I mean, in that probably I'll have floors or carpet area. So I mean, in place of choosing these options, can I customize it and use floors?
No, that is something not possible. Now, see, what you have created, for example, you created an object called as a tower. What is your object name?
Yes, sir, it's tower.
And what type of details you want to store over there?
I have created like you created price. I have also created price. And when you created the last, I created it as floors. So maybe the next one I can create something else, carpet
Okay.
area or something else.
Carpet area. So let's take an example of carpet area. So area is what? Carpet area is again length into breadth, whatever it is. And it will be, suppose it's a 5 by 5. So 5 by 5 is again equals to 25. So again, it is what? It is a number. So 25 is what? Your number. So you can select the number type of field. But you cannot describe your own field type as a carpet field, frequency field. That kind of things are not possible. Frequency is again what? It's again number. Carpet is again number. Your tower address is again your address. Correct. So you can use the address field or a text field or a geolocation field. Correct. Whatever value you want to store, that value has to be matched somewhere here. And don't worry, it is managed over here. If it is not managed, then maximum you can at least select the text field. So inside the text, you can store anything. That means you can store the characters, you can store the numbers, you can store the special symbols like the @ exclamation sign, $sign. You can store anything in the text. Correct. So field types are fixed, but you have to select appropriate field type as per your data. Correct. Now let's go. Is that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Now let's select a next type of field. So suppose I selected a type field as a date or I guess we selected the currency, no? So let's select a date. Okay. Now I'll give the first step is select a type of field, and next step is just to give the name to your field. These are the two fields. These are the two steps only we are following. Nothing more than that. It's very simple. Registration date, I would say. Registration means the date we register our bike to the RTO office, to the government office, correct? And then click on just next. Nothing more than that. We are just following the two steps. Correct? Now, next, and save. Okay, that's done. Now let's go to the tab and create a new record. Correct? Click on new. Okay, now this needs to be refreshed. So if you are not able to see your fields, make sure you refresh that, you will able to see. See this? Now I have the, let's give a good name to your bike. What I can give, I don't know. Can someone suggest the name?
Will you please show me again how to add a record?
Okay, sure, no problem.
From starting.
Fine, no problem. So to create a new record, suppose you are somewhere here and you want to create a particular object record. Now for that, you need to visit that tab, correct? Once you visit that tab, you will see the list of records. And here you will get a new button.
First, we have to go to launch and select the sales.
Okay.
I mean, we are not in the setup mode. Right?
Okay, so if you are in a setup, then then you have to go over here and search for the cells. Correct. Once you search to the cells app, it's an application, I would say. It's a cells app. And then you landed on this main home page. Correct. And then as per your requirement, you can select your tab. Suppose I need to go to the bikes, I'll select the bike tab. And once you come over here, then you have the new button. Okay. Now let's give a name to your bike. Is that answer your question?
I can't see the bike here. I created the object, but I didn't see. That's it.
Okay, so you created the object, but have you created the tab for it? Tab?
No.
Okay, then how you will see? I told you guys yesterday that you create the object, but to display the object over here, these are the tabs. You have to create the tabs. So how to create the tab? Go to again setup. Okay. Okay, and search for the tab. Search for the tab. And then here you will get the tabs option. And then you can create a new tab. When you are trying to create a tab, first you have to select your bike over here. Now I already created tab, so I cannot see the bike over here. For example, I'll just select the airport. Okay, just to give you the example. But you need to select. Okay.
Sir, yesterday when I created my object, I was getting an option to create tab inside that object itself. So I haven't created in the way you are telling me.
Yeah, that's fine. So see, I'm giving you the simple approach. Okay. So this is the basic approach that I'm giving. So if you are creating the tab from there, that is also good.
All right.
Okay. So this is for everyone. If you find some else's option, that is totally fine. Okay. No worries. So you just need to select your object over here And tab style can be anything. It's just the symbol. Correct? Select that symbol. Ah, come on, man. Okay. And then you have to click on next, 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 and save. Okay. Next. Click on next. And then save. Okay. I will not save because I don't want that tab. Okay. Once you save this, you have to come to your again sales app, refresh. You will able to see your object over here. You will able to see object either added directly over here or inside the more you can see. Okay. Once you're done with your tab creation, then go to that particular tab and click on new button. Give a name to your bike, for example, deluxe, whatever it is. Give the price as I would say 5,000.23. Correct. What will be my registration date? Registration date has to be in the past. Correct. I'll select the yesterday's date and I'll save the record. You see, all the details are here. Okay, so this is how we create the fields on the object. Okay, now there is a different concept. Now, okay, before going ahead, let me know anyone have any questions now coming to their mind. कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो अभी आप पूछ सकते हो, कोई भी बेसिक रहे, कैसे जैसे अभी लोगों ने पूछा कि टैब्स नहीं दिख रहा है, ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं दिख रहा है, कुछ भी हो आप पूछो. फील्ड से रिलेटेड कोई क्वेश्चन है? नहीं. Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, so once you're done with the field creation, okay, now the next assignment for you guys is that you have to try all these types of fields. Okay, now how to go to that? Go to the setup. Go to your object manager and search for your object, that is bike. In my example, you can give your own example as well. Go to the fields and relationship. Okay, and here you can create n number of fields up to 500. And you see the difference between the standard fields and custom fields. The standard field do not have the underscore C, and the custom fields we have the underscore C with it. Correct? So make sure if someone asks you the difference between the standard fields and custom fields, you should be able to tell that. There are only 4 fields per, there are only 4 standard fields on one single object, but we can have up to 500 custom fields. Standard fields do not end with the underscore C. Custom fields always ends with the underscore C. Correct? Okay. Now, anyone have any questions now? Else, I'll explain you the next important type of field. No? Okay. Now, let me tell you a simple, a very interesting type of field, that is a pick list. Now, what is mean by pick list? As you sometimes remember, whenever we visit any website, we will get a multiple options to select that. So if you are able to remember, once you fill up your college forms, so out of that, how many subjects you are interested for your 4th semester or last semester or your final year, correct? Out of 7 subjects, you have to select any 5, or out of 10 subjects, you have to select any 7. So for that, software will be giving you the drop down, correct? Drop down, correct? This type of drop down. I'm just giving you the example, okay? So don't take this as it is. Where is the output man? Drop down menu. Try to drop down image. Okay, I'll show you in the Salesforce itself. Okay, so if you go over here, let me show you somewhere here on our one of the different object. Okay, come to the details section, and I want to show you a drop down, how it looks like, and we call that as a pick list. Okay, you see this? These are the multiple options we get. Correct? And out of that, one of it we select and then save it. Correct? So this type of field is called a pick list. And suppose you want to create your own pick list, then how to do that? It's a very simple, but you just need to remember your drop down values, which values you want to display over here. So suppose let's come to our by color context. Okay, now suppose what is the drop down we can show? We can show as a color of bike, whether it's a red color, black color, white color, blue color, correct? So bike color can be a drop down, correct? Or we can call that as a pick list. Now go to your bike fields and let's create a new field that is a pick list type of field, correct? Now the rest of the fields you can try, correct? Date you can, now I given you the date, you can give for the try for the date time. Email is again simple. So what you can give the field name as a customer email, you can give customer address, number again field. So you can give that the phone number or some, no, not a phone number. Phone number we have a separate field. Number is something like your bike number, percentage. Okay, average percentage, 10%, 20%. Okay, so the rest of the fields you can just read this help text and create. It's a straightforward and simple. Okay, now the important one is the pick list. Okay, so
sorry to cut you off, but ऐसा हो सकता है कि just while filling the field record form एक बार number डाल के like होता है ना कि we can't undone that, change नहीं कर सकते हैं.
नहीं, यहाँ पे Salesforce में कर सकते हैं दोस्त. मतलब फील्ड का नाम की बात कर रहे हो या फिर यहाँ पे रिकॉर्ड में वैल्यूज की बात?
रिकॉर्ड की वैल्यूज की बात कर रहा हूँ. That once it's made, it can't be undone.
यहाँ पे कर सकते हैं. यहाँ पे if you want to add your registration date, suppose अब मैंने आज पहले ऐड कर दिया 5th. Okay, I'll save this. It will work. Now I wanted to change this. You can do that very easily. No problem. That means
if we want to make the secure one कि अगर एक बार कर दिया तो you can't undone.
कर सकते हैं. मैं आपको बता भी सकता हूँ कैसे कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अभी नहीं बता सकता दोस्त. प्रॉब्लम ये है कि वो चीजें करने के लिए आपको यहाँ पे एरर मैसेज डिस्प्ले करना पड़ेगा कि यू कैन नॉट चेंज दिस वैल्यू, यू डू नॉट हैव द राइट प्रिविलेजेस, समथिंग लाइक दैट, है ना. तो वो एरर मैसेज कैसे ऐड करते हैं, सिस्टम को सेफ या सिक्योर कैसे, वो सब कर सकते हैं हम सेल्सफोर्स में, बट स्टेप बाय स्टेप, वन स्टेप एट अ टाइम. उसके लिए कॉन्सेप्ट है जिसको हम बोलते हैं वैलिडेशन रूल, है ना. जिससे क्या होता है ना कि कोई भी बंदा अगर चेंज करने की कोशिश करेगा तो उसको मैसेज आ जाए कि यू डू नॉट हैव राइट एक्सेस, यू कैन नॉट चेंज द वैल्यू.
ओके,
है ना. वो कर सकते हैं, डोंट वरी. यहाँ पे मस्त एकदम रेड में मैसेज दिख जाएगा, प्रॉपर चलता है. बट उसके लिए ना आप थोड़ा सा होल्ड कीजिए, ये बेसिक्स पहले क्लियर होने दीजिए. जैसे बेसिक फील्ड्स, ऑब्जेक्ट्स, ये सब में लोगों का कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डअप हो जाए, सबको प्रैक्टिस हो जाए, तब हम एक एक चीज में डिटेल में जाएंगे. Okay, thank you for raising this. Okay, now let's create a pick list type of field. Okay, now as I mentioned, pick list means what? If you want to create a something like a drop down. Okay, let's go ahead and click on next. Okay, now what's your drop down field label should be? I would say a bike color, na? Bike color. Okay, now here you will get the two options. Values, where should the values come from? First option is the use global pick list value set. We don't need that. We have to give the value by our own. Now, what is mean by global pick list value set? I'll explain you in next 10 minutes. But first, understand the easier one. है ना? तो यहाँ पे लिखा है enter the values with each value separated by a new line. तो आपको क्या करना है ना, कॉमा separated values नहीं देनी है. यहाँ पे हर वैल्यू को नेक्स्ट लाइन पे देना है. So suppose my first color is red, then blue, then white, then green, है ना. अगर आप कॉमा सेपरेटेड आगे वैल्यू दोगे तो ये एक ही वैल्यू कंसीडर होती है. सपोज मैंने रेड के आगे व्हाइट लिख दिया तो ये एक ही वैल्यू कंसीडर होगी, रेड और व्हाइट करके. तो ऐसे कोई कलर नहीं होता रेड व्हाइट, है ना. तो मेक श्योर करो कि आप ईच वैल्यू को विदाउट कॉमा नेक्स्ट लाइन पे दो, यहीं पे यहाँ पे वही लिखा है, एंटर द वैल्यू विथ ईच वैल्यू सेपरेटेड बाय अ न्यू लाइन। तो ये सेल्सफोर्स का स्टैंडर्ड है, इसको ऐसे ही करना पड़ता है, इसके लिए कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है दोस्तों, है ना। ओके, सो आपने जैसे ही वैल्यू दे दी तो आप क्या करोगे, नेक्स्ट पे जाओगे। चलो मैं एक और एडवांस चीज बता देता हूँ आपको, है ना। तो ये सारे फील्ड्स के लिए अप्लाई है, नॉट ओनली द पिक लिस्ट। तो ऐसे कभी कभी होता है ना कि आपको क्या करना है ना, उस रिकॉर्ड बनाते टाइम पे अगर मैं बाइक्स पे गया, मैंने न्यू पे क्लिक किया और मैं बस बाइक का नाम दूंगा और सेव कर सकता हूँ। मैं यहाँ पे अगर नहीं भी वैल्यू दूंगा तो भी चल जाता है, बट अगर मैं बाइक का नाम ही नहीं देता हूँ, है ना, और मैं सेव करने की कोशिश करता हूँ बाकी की वैल्यूज डाल के, है ना, तो अब क्या आता है, कंप्लीट दिस फील्ड। मतलब ये क्या हो रहा है, ये फील्ड सेल्सफोर्स ने रिक्वायर्ड करके रखा है, देख रहे हो ये स्टार। तो इसका मतलब क्या है, ये रिक्वायर्ड फील्ड्स है। तो हम भी हमारे फील्ड्स को रिक्वायर्ड कर सकते हैं। उनको रिक्वायर्ड कैसे करना है, जस्ट एक सिंपल चेक बॉक्स है, यू सी दिस, रिकॉर्ड। तो आप अगर ये चेक बॉक्स को चेक करोगे तो आपका फील्ड में वैल्यू एंटर करते टाइम पे यूजर को डालना ही पड़ेगा, मतलब वो रिक्वायर्ड हो जाएगा।
अगर अनचेक किया
तो
सर?
नहीं, आप उसको स्किप भी कर सकते हो। अनचेक करना किया तो आपको वैल्यू ऐड करने की मैंडेटरी नहीं है, ये रिक्वायर्ड नहीं होगा, है ना। ये आपको यू होगा कि आपने वैल्यू डालनी है कि नहीं डालनी है। तो अभी तक जो हमने फील्ड्स बनाए ना, प्राइस ये सब, उसमें हमने फील्ड्स को रिक्वायर्ड नहीं किया था। फॉर जस्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग, लेट दिस फील्ड एज अ रिक्वायर्ड and click on next. Now rest of the things are same, next 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 and same. Okay, so now अभी हम चेक करते हैं कि ये फील्ड कैसे दिखेगा। Go to your tab, refresh this। हाँ भाई, reload। Okay, now let's click on new button to create a record। Okay, bike name, now what should be the bike name, uh, Ether something, है ना। Price we can add anything or we can skip because it's not required। Registration date again same, but now you see the bike color is required now, you see the star symbol, just add the value and now you see the options that we have given, the same options now coming over here, correct। Now we can select one of it and save our record, correct। And now you can see the details. If you wanted to change the details anytime, you can change the value, there is a no restrictions on that, okay। You can change the red to blue, it's as simple as। बट पिकलिस्ट में क्या होता है ना, कि पिकलिस्ट की जो भी वैल्यूज है, इसको हम अभी पिकलिस्ट ही बोलेंगे, हम इसको ड्रॉप डाउन नहीं बोलेंगे, है ना। जो पिकलिस्ट है उसकी जो वैल्यूज है वो आपको पता होनी चाहिए कि आपको क्या देना है ना, तभी आप ऐसे पिकलिस्ट टाइप की फील्ड्स बना पाओगे, है ना। जैसे मैंने बाइक का कलर दे दिया, कोई क्या करेगा, जैसे वन ऑफ आवर स्टूडेंट डिड दैट, ही क्रिएटेड एन ऑब्जेक्ट कॉल्ड एज एन टावर। तो टावर में क्या होता है ना, टावर में ड्रॉप डाउन क्या बना सकते हैं हम लोग, जैसे फ्रिक्वेंसी होती है, हर एक जो मोबाइल का टावर होता है उसके लिए फ्रिक्वेंसी होती है, 100 गीगाहर्ट्ज, 200 गीगाहर्ट्ज, 300 गीगाहर्ट्ज। So he can create a fields like a frequency and he can add the values as a 100, 200, 300 and 400, correct। 100 gigahertz, 200 gigahertz, for example, that, correct। Now this is how we can create the drop down type of fields, okay। Now as I shown you the required thing, so you go ahead here and just give your bike name as a test123 and just try to say, see, so this type of message it comes, we hit a send, review the following fields, है ना। It's saying that please review the following field, and what the field, complete this field, because we mark this field as a required at the time of field creation। जब हम फील्ड बना रहे थे तो हमने इसको रिक्वायर्ड मार्क किया था, समझ में आ रहा है। तो आप फील्ड को रिक्वायर्ड भी बना सकते हो, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, it's as simple as। So now let's go to the again field types। Now why we are focusing more and more on field types, because this is very core, है ना। तो आपको हर टाइप का फील्ड बनाने आना ही चाहिए, इसके सिवा सेल्सफोर्स में कुछ नहीं हो सकता, समझ लीजिए ये चीज। अगर आप फील्ड नहीं बना पाओगे तो आप सेल्सफोर्स में काम करना भूल जाइए, नहीं होगा, है ना। तो मेक श्योर यू आर एबल टू क्रिएट ऑल टाइप ऑफ फील्ड्स एक्सेप्ट दिस external lookup, master lookup, formula and auto number. For time being ये skip करो और नीचे के सारे fields type आप बना के try करना, है ना? तो मैंने pick list बना दिया है, आप मल्टी सेलेक्ट पिक लिस्ट बना लो। अब ये मल्टी सेलेक्ट पिक लिस्ट क्या होता है? किसी को पता है मल्टी सेलेक्ट पिक लिस्ट क्या होना चाहिए? एटलीस्ट कोई गेस कर सकता है? एटलीस्ट गेस
Sir,
तो
if we
करें।
can provide some
We can
options in the
select
checklist.
Yeah. Exactly. Some of the answer that we can select multiple values from the drop down. मतलब यहाँ पे ड्रॉप डाउन दिखेगा, लेकिन अभी क्या हो रहा है ना, सिंगल सेलेक्ट पिक लिस्ट में मैं एक ही वैल्यू सेलेक्ट कर सकता हूँ और सेव कर सकता हूँ, है ना? लेकिन अगर मुझे मल्टीपल वैल्यू सिलेक्ट करनी है तो मैं कैसे सिलेक्ट करूँ? मुझे रेड भी चाहिए, ब्लू भी चाहिए, व्हाइट भी चाहिए, ग्रीन भी चाहिए, मुझे बाइक में चारों कलर चाहिए। तो मैं यहाँ पे वो नहीं कर सकता अगर ये नॉर्मल पिक लिस्ट है। लेकिन अगर मल्टी सेलेक्ट पिक लिस्ट है, सो देन वी कैन सेलेक्ट द मल्टीपल वैल्यूज। नाउ लेट्स डू दैट वेरी क्विकली, है ना? अभी मैं थोड़ा सा स्पीड बढ़ाऊंगा, है ना? मल्टी सेलेक्ट पिक लिस्ट मैंने फील्ड सेलेक्ट कर लिया, हम नेक्स्ट जाएंगे। अभी आप बताओ मैं हम बाइक में कौन सी ऐसी प्रॉपर्टी है जिसमें हम मल्टीपल थिंग्स सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं? कलर तो मल्टीपल होता नहीं यार, कलर तो सेम कलर की बाइक होते। तो मल्टीपल क्या होता है बाइक में? टायर्स मल्टीपल होते हैं ना, 2 टायर्स होते नहीं, वो भी खराब दिखेगा यार। सॉरी,
ऑयल,
ऑयल, है ना? ऑयल ब्रांड या फिर करेक्ट है।
ब्रेक ऑयल, इंजन ऑयल।
हाँ करेक्ट, ऑयल, जस्ट ऑयल, है ना? तो यहाँ पे आपको बस ये मेक श्योर करना है कि आप सेकंड वाला सेलेक्ट करो। ये ग्लोबल पिक लिस्ट वैल्यू आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू, जस्ट गिव यू 1 मिनट, है ना? एंटर द वैल्यूज। सो यहाँ पे सेलेक्ट करो आप इंजन ऑयल एंड देन brake oil, and then you have the disc oil. I'm just giving the random names, I'm not sure. Disc oil, and then what we have,
मोबिल,
sorry,
मोबिल, something called मोबिल।
maybe whatever it is, mobile oil. Okay, so I just given the couple of options. Okay, just imagine that is hypothetical. Okay, I'm not sure what these are oils are. Okay, so what you can do, the rest of the things, give the name to your field, put the option, then select next, and save. Save. Correct. Now close this, refresh your page. Click on new. Now probably you can see the multiple select type of pick list. It's not coming yet. Did we save this? I guess हाँ हमने सेव कर दिया था, और या हमने सेव किया है, ये आ क्यों नहीं रहा है?
So for me also it's not showing. I also saved that.
I know. It's a cache issue. You know, you need to understand it's a Salesforce always runs on a cloud. So if you see this type of details, so what you need to do, just go close this, okay? And on this browser, refresh button, right click on this, okay? Do not left click, just right click on this. It's a right, not right clicking even. So we just need to remove the cache and time. There are extensions as well which will help you to remove the cache. Otherwise, right click on this. Possible. It's not clicking even. Cache man. So sorry for this. Let me log out and log in. It's not our issue. Don't worry. We did the right thing, but it's just sometimes the Salesforce behavior. Okay. Log in one more time. Okay. So go to your Sales app. Here, go to the bikes. Click on new. Still not. Now there is some technical issue. Let's check that what we did wrong. Okay, go to setup. Go to your object manager. Go to open your object, that is bike. Fields the relationship. Open the field oil. Now what's wrong? Restrict the values. Rolling for max validation. Everything is correct. Now why it is showing? Okay. What I can do, let me create that field one more time. I think at the time of field creation, we did some mistake. Okay, let me delete this. So how to delete is open the field and click on delete. That's it. Let's try one more time. Okay, create a new field. Okay, select a multi-select option. Then go to the next. Field name as a oil. Enter the value separately on every single line. Correct. And then engine oil, brake oil, mobile oil, desk oil, whatever. Okay, the 4 option display values alphabetically. Use the first value as the default value. Visible line 4, field name oil. Description, we don't want that as a required. Let's make it required. Auto add to a custom report types, default value, not needed. Click on next. Now the field is visible to everyone. Yes, it is visible to everyone. Click on next. So I added that on the layout as well. Save. So I think we did the same steps. What's wrong?
Sir, I tried creating a checkbox and that is also not visible for me.
Yeah. Even still for me as well, not visible. No worries. It's just the field. Now you see this, it's coming. Don't worry, it's a cache issue only. So you just try after some time, you will be able to see. So just add some extension from the Chrome, cache clear. There is extension, a good extension from Chrome, cache clean, cache clear, Chrome extension. Okay. So this is cache clear extension. You can add to your Chrome browser and you just need to clear, click on the button over there. You will be able to clear the cache. Okay. I cannot add because this is my office laptop. Okay. So I cannot do something. I cannot add the extension, but it's your personal. You can add this extension. You will be able to clear the cache. Okay. So don't worry. It's just the cache issue. Okay. So you can see this now. Now the bike color is a single drop down. One of you can select, but oil is a multi-select. You can select the multiple values. Correct. And now the same way, just give the name to your bike. For example, test. I can give any name, then save. Correct. Now you see this, how the values are added over here. Oil as a comma separated oil. Yeah, sorry, comma separated values. Correct. Now this is how you can create a different types of fields on your object. Now, if I show you, if you wanted to if you wanted to add one more color to your bike, okay, but you don't want to create the field from scratch, definitely you will not do. Correct. So what you will do, you will open your field, that is bike color, and what are the available colors are over here. You see this, the red, blue, yellow, green. No, green, white, blue, and red. Now I want to add a new more color over here. So what I will do, I'll open that field, that is bike color. I'll go down and you see this available values. Correct. What are the available values over here? Red is blue, white and green. Now I want to add one more value. Now I'll click on new button over here. That's a new value. It's not a new field. Correct. I'm inside of that field. Correct. And inside the field, I'm just adding a new value. So click on new. And what will be my value? Yellow. YELLOW. And I'll just save. Then a new value will be added. Correct. Now how to check that? Just scroll down the field and you check the yellow value is added and it's active. Yes, it's an active value. There is a no inactive value. Correct. So just refresh this or create a new field, new record. You can see this. A bike color, you can see the yellow now. So it's a cache is problem now. Here, if you're able to right click now on my laptop, I don't know what's the issue, but you can right click over here. I don't know why I'm not getting that option, but there is a right click option on the browser tab. Okay, just refresh this. If not possible now, there is a very small trick we can do to clear the cache on every laptop. Just right click anywhere on your screen, right click on inspect. Okay, this is something kind of thing open. Then go to your browser button and then right click, and here you will get the button empty cache and hard reload. Just do that. Your cache will be clear quickly. Instead of refresh, we can inspect and refresh. Okay, now let's try. Probably the value will be visible now. Okay, now you see, once you refresh the cache, clear the cache, it will see. Now suppose yellow is there. Now I want to remove one of the value. So what should I do? I should go over here, go to the fields and just deactivate any value. Okay. Okay, just deactivate that. The value will be deactivated. Oh. Correct. Now you see there are some active values and there are some deactive values. Correct. So that means there are the 4 values that end user can see and 1 value will be hidden. But anytime if you want to activate value, you can activate. Now if you refresh, you won't be able to see the write down. Correct. So let me inspect this and right click empty cache hard reload. So that cache will be clear very quickly. You don't need to add even extensions. Okay, click on new. And you see, now there is a no red. Correct, because I deactivated the red value. If you want to activate, you can again activate and try it out. Okay. Now this is how we normally manage all type of fields and all type of objects. Correct. So now what are the fields are remaining? Let me check. Just give me 2 or 3 more minutes. We'll finish today. Okay. Now you see we done up to the pick list. Correct. Now the text is remaining. Now text is very simple. Text is something text. So if you select this text, you can add up to 80 characters. If you select the text area, you can select add up to 255 characters. If you add the text area long, these many characters. And if you select text area rich, you can up to these many characters with rich text. Rich text means what? Some bold design or some images or something like that. You can add over in your field. Okay. And then the time and URL again same. You can store some time over here. And if you wanted to store some URL, you can create. So the rest of the same are straightforward. You can create and you can try how it looks like. Correct. So what we have achieved today we have achieved what is the type of fields and how we can create all the type of fields over here. Okay. So I would request you, please go through this, create as many as fields and as many objects you can. Okay. And just practice this. Okay. This will make you perfect then. Okay. Once we're done with this, Tomorrow, I'm going to introduce a couple of new topics then. Okay. We'll stop for today here itself, and then we'll connect tomorrow, guys. Okay. Thank you so much for everyone joining. If you have any questions, then you can ask. Otherwise, we will stop for today over here.
So just one request. I mean, probably we have covered a couple of important topics today. So if we can get the video today itself, recorded video, so while going.
That's for that I'm requesting the admin team, but I'm not sure what they are doing. Correct. So this is not in my control. Correct. So you can max. I can max say you that post